So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and an exciting future. Of course, with me, Dermot, aka Dermatron here, leading you the way. Philip will be joining me later, I think, for the end of this stream. But boy, have we got a show for you, have we got news for you. This is, of course, the home of all the breaking news. And as you can see at the bottom of your screen, we have breaking football news. Where do I start? Well, I am going to start on this. The Premier League in the last sort of 14, 15 minutes have voted for a 5-year limit on paying transfer fees regardless of length of players' contracts. Now, this was brought in because of what I just watched a bit of it now to get a bit of sense of it all. These are, it's like Chelsea bought a player, say you buy a player for 100 million. If I bring this up, actually, it explains it better. So basically, if the transfer fees are spread evenly over a course of a contract, it means that the longer it is, the smaller the annual payments recorded on the club's accounts are. For instance, the 100 million fee would be about 20 million a year with a 5-year contract. But it's only be 20 million a year with a 5-year contract, but at only 12.5 a year if the deal was 8 years. So there's a big spread. A league statement read, going forward, the 5-year maximum will apply to all new and extending players' contracts. Clubs also approved a rule to amend, empowering the league's board to block clubs from registering new players where they're owed a transfer debt to another Premier League or EFL club until the debt is paid. So basically what they're saying is, right, say if, for example, Man United owe Man City, I think it was explained on the telly, a transfer fee, say, of 100 million, and Man United only paid 50 million of it and refused to pay the second 50 million. Then the Man City could go to the Premier League and say, right, Man United are refusing to pay the second 50 million. The Premier League then would investigate it and then we'll go to Man United. Right, okay, Man United, you cannot register any new players until you pay that debt to Man City. Now, it's very, very unlikely it's going to happen that way, but that's sort of the rule of it. And also the other rule they brought in, Chelsea have bought players beyond players on longer contracts, 8-9-year contracts. You cannot do that now, but this is not being backdated. So the contracts Chelsea have at the moment will not be affected. any new transfers that come in, I think from this January, will be affected. So you can still sign a player on an 8-year contract, but you can only spread that cost of that contract over 5 years. So it's bringing into question of teams really keeping within the FFP and also keeping in the margins of how you run your football club so you don't get into too much debt. But that is one of the bit of the breaking news. So that's that there. And the other one is massive for Man United fan, Big T in the chat as well. Rumours and reports have surfaced, and this is what I've been hearing all morning, have claiming that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's deal of 25% of Manchester United has officially collapsed. The details as to why or not are not clear at the moment. In time, but a new round of talks are set to begin after Christmas. Also, the Qataris' offer of 100% of the club all has remained on the table for a while. This may see them make another play for control of Manchester United. Let me know what you think in the chat, lads. Let me know what you think in the chat. I mean, this is big news for United. On the day United have their biggest Champions League game in years, a defeat tonight, they could be out of Europe, completely out of Europe before Christmas. And suddenly they're hit with this wham that the deal for Sir Jim Ratcliffe's deal has collapsed. Now, these are only rumors. We don't know. They were waiting for an official confirmation. But if this is true, and if this has now come to pass, then wow, we have issues at United. They have big issues. I have put on the subscriber only mode. It's to keep out the idiots, basically. But if you do, please hit the like button. I might turn it off for a while and then put it back on later. So I will do that. I've turned it off, but if we get any nonsense, it will be going straight back on. We've got Matthew in the chat. Big up Matthew. He says, big up Lord Dermot. I'm no Lord. I'm just Dermatron. Or Tron. Philip's the Lord. Philip's the Sir. I'm just normal Joe Blog Dermo. Did you see the GTA 6 trailer? I actually don't play GTA. I've never have. Did play it a little while when I was younger, but just couldn't get my head around it. I'm more into Formula One games and Formula One and EA Sports and all that different games. But no, GTA is not my thing. Big T, big up Big T, nervous for tonight. But Charlton must watch the show because he's definitely stepped up. He has. I don't think you can blame that all on me. But if he has watched me and seen me criticize him, that's because of the reason. Well, there you go. Big up with Charlton. Big up Big T. Let me know what you think about that news, United news, and let me know what your hopes are for tonight. I've done a bit of a build-up for you as well, so we'll go into that later. We've got Chris Welsh. Big up, mate. Hope you're well. Big up, Chris. Did a pre-record with him earlier over on that F1 channel, which is going at 5 o'clock. So please, everyone, get over to THFC F1 Till We Die and get over there and hit the like button and hit the subscription button as we try to grow our other sister channel. We've got Matthew Lord Dermot today. Farmer Kane plays against United. Yeah. I think Harry Kane's going to come and haunt United. I really do. I think he's going to come and he's going to put them out of Europe. I think after that defeat at the weekend, Bayern Munich will become looking for blood. They want redemption. We've got big up to Colin as well, who's going to the game tonight. Big up Colin. That's United not buying anyone for the next 10 years. Yeah, for what Colin told me, well, not Colin, but for what I've heard, United are in a financial mess at the moment. And they do owe clubs money. So I'd be very surprised if they voted for this. I would like to know actually if they did vote for this. And also, did Chelsea vote for the 5-year limit on how much you can pay a transfer over the 5 years? I would love to know who voted and who voted against that. I don't think it's going to affect Tottenham very much. I don't think it will. But, it could affect the big clubs like Man City, Man United, Chelsea. Teams like that, it might affect them. Big T says they can take the money out the Premier League money, right? Minus it off the club and pay it to the club owner to transfer. Yeah, I think that's what they might do. I think that's what they might do. I think that's probably one way around it. But look, I I just think United are in a mess at the moment. They're absolutely in crisis mode, and especially of all days, today was supposed to be the day you were announcing this deal of the big white horse, big Sir Jim coming in and like the big knight coming to save United. It's just turned United into more of a circus, to be honest, and more of a not a circus, but I think you're in a hell of a mess. And I saw a stat today, and it's a hell of a stat. The last 5 Man United managers since Alex Ferguson's left combined have lost more home games than Alex Ferguson did in his whole 20-odd year managerial career at United. So for 20-odd years, it's taken 5 managers combined since he retired. They've lost more home games than Fergie did in 20-odd years. That bowled me over. That is unreal. And it proves that United have gone downwards. They've gone in a different direction. And I don't think the Glazers or people in that really thought United would go so downhill after Fergie left. But the same thing happened when Sir Matt Busby left. United went into the doldrums and went into the wilderness, and they're back there again. And now with the Glazers now, it's going to get worse before I think it will get better for United. Colin says only the Glazers can mess up a deal that kept majority control. Haha, I just give up. I know, I talked to you. Matthew says, in my opinion, if Saunch Dyche gets backed by Everton board, he would take Everton back to Europe. I think he will, Matthew. Everton will not go down this year. I think they're very harshly done by with the 10 points. But they're out of it now, and they're nearly back to where they were before. They won the last 3 in a row. And beating Chelsea on the weekend, I think, was a big result for them. I think that's more pressure on Pochettino for his job. And look, Chelsea lose the weekend. Could Pochettino be one of the first big names to be sacked? Big T's put in, I've been busy all day. You just mentioned the gym deal collapsing. It's the first I've heard of it. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, I got it from my source. He told me it hasn't been confirmed yet. These are rumors. But for what I'm hearing, it has collapsed. Now, these are only rumors. These are only people put out there. For what I'm hearing, it has, but we'll have to wait and see. And he says, as for tonight's game, I will be simply observing. I've stopped having hope a long time ago. Well, Big T, you can join me here as I'm doing a watch along to it at 7:30 here on THFC till I die. As we do, we're going to cover United tonight, Newcastle for Geordie tomorrow night. 2 big games for 2 Premier League clubs in Europe. It's win or bust ready for both of them, but Newcastle have more control over their destiny. United have none. United need a miracle, I think, even to get into the Europa League. But the last time you finished 3rd in your group, you went on to win the Europa League that season. That was the last time you finished 3rd in the Champions League group. You went on to win the Europa League. So could history repeat itself? Matthew, big up Matthew. He says, I'm genuinely like this new at Everton. If it wasn't for the 10 points deduction, they would have had 25 points to now. Yeah, they would have done. And look, Everton were always the big club when I was younger. They were always competing with Liverpool and winning a few leagues themselves, winning the Cup Winners' Cup, winning an FA Cup, played in 2 Merseyside Cup finals with Liverpool as well back in the 80s. So look, Liverpool, and of course beat us in the semi-final in 95 and went on to beat Man United in the final. So yeah, look, Everton for me are a big club. They've been in the doldrums. They've been badly run. They've been badly financially run. And I feel sorry for the fans because they're the ones that put trust into these owners. And it's the same with any owner. You put, like Man United with the Glazers, you put your trust in these owners to do the right thing. And owners like the Glazers or like the owners of Everton, they want to make as much money out the club as they can make. And I think in the long run, I think it will hurt clubs in the end. And it's now hurting Everton. It will hurt Man United. And it's okay for Man City or these having these big state-owned countries owning them. It will come back to haunt them at the end of the day. And I think Newcastle, to be fair to them, are doing it very sensibly. They're not splashing the cash around. And look, as much as we've had a lot of problems with our owners. I think on the financial side of it, you have to think that we're well run on that side of the business. It's the football side where we've been let down, and I'm hopefully now under Ange that has now come to an end. That Ange will take us to the promised land and get us the trophies and take us on cup runs and get us a league. Now, will we win the league under Ange? I don't know. Could we win a few cups under Ange? Yeah, why not? But look, I think you look at clubs up and down the league, and you can pick out the clubs that are badly run, and you can pick out the clubs that have been pretty well run properly. And we're in that distinction that Tottenham have been properly run, but we've been let down on the football side. We've been let down with the transfers. But as I was hearing today on another stream, big up to Sean on his show earlier, really enjoyed it. I think one of them said that since Angie's come in, we're seeing the benefit of recruitment done right, and we are. We're seeing the proper recruitment. So maybe things are changing at Tottenham. But if you look at Manchester United, you look at they're in dire straits. They really are in dire straits. Really are. We've got Big T says there is a potential situation where no takeover happens. We're not allowed to sign anyone this January because we don't have the money to pay the debt still owed on previous transfers. And that's the problem, Big T. I mean, how far more down does United have to go before they hit rock bottom? I mean, you really are where we were 3 years ago, in a mess. I mean, the whole club's a mess. And you don't expect that from a club like Manchester United to be in such a mess financially off the field as well as on the field. And I've said it before. I mean, Colin told me, and a few other United fans have told me, Old Trafford is falling to bits. So when does that become unsafe for fans to go there? Could we be waking up one morning, Old Trafford closed for safety reasons? And you look under what the Glazers have done. You look at Martin Edwards' tenure of United, and that's when United were run properly. Now they're not. They're run. It's been Americanized, and I fear for Man United's future at the moment. I don't know how far you can go down. You can't keep blaming Ten Hag all the time. You blame the players. You blame they're the ones going on the pitch. And again, I was watching TalkSport when I was putting the show together, and hearing the argument with Simon Jordan saying about there's no toxic environment in the Man United dressing room, and there's very much is a toxic environment in that dressing room. You look at our dressing room under Conte, under Mourinho, there was very much clicks in them dressing rooms that players would go to the chairman, this manager isn't picking me, and A, B, C, D, E, and I want him gone. And it got very toxic. Even under Conte, it got very toxic. Now under Ange, there's a culture change at Tottenham. There's a culture change of players loving the way Ange is doing it. The club's a lot happier. The club's a lot more of a stable environment for players to come and improve, and players to come to improve their football and to play under Ange and enjoy their football, which is the most important thing. If a player's enjoying his football, he will give you his best. And yet there is players that we want gone. Eric Dyer we want gone. Hugo needs to go. Segerson, I think, needs to go. And other players need to go. But we just have to be patient with this rebuild. There will be bumps on the road, but I feel we're in a lot better place. But if you look at United, they're in a terrible place. They're down in the doldrums. And it's a funny environment. For years, United laughed at us that we were the joke. Well, the joke's on you. And this is no disrespect to Big T or to Colin, who are massive United fans. But from a Spurs point of view, firstly, the joke's on you. You slagged us off for years. Here comes, don't worry, it's only Tottenham. Well, don't worry, it's only Tottenham. Tottenham are coming back. But on a football fan's point of view, if I put my football fan hat on as a neutral, I think what's happening at United is shocking, because United were the biggest club in the world, one of the richest clubs in the world, one of the most successful clubs in the world, behind probably Barcelona and Real Madrid. So you look at it that way, and you look how far they've fallen, and you look how we've built up. And a lot of people criticize Levy for building the infrastructure of the club, and doing it how he's done it. And yeah, there is a slight of disagreement there. There is a slight of, could you do it hand in hand? And you can do it hand in hand. You have to get one right before the other gets right. And there is frustration out there. We as football fans want a quick fix. We at Tottenham won a trophy. We haven't won a trophy since 2008. We're desperate for one. I'm sure United had, as fans as well, want a quick fix. Everyone's so impatient. We've been starved of success. And once you get starved of success, you no longer have the patience to give a manager time to implement his philosophy within the club. And then if we lose a couple of games, like we did lost 4 out of our last 5 before the win on the weekend, you get fans coming out, this is not working, we want Ange out, we want another manager in. But we can only go so long sacking managers. You can only go on so long of saying, well, it ain't working, let's sack him. Ange has been successful everywhere he's gone. I'm sure if Ange was at Man United, Man City, Chelsea, wherever, Liverpool, he would get the same response out of the same players. I don't know if he could do it at United. I'm sure he could do it at Man City. And Man City is another thing as well. You got Pep coming out the other night, apologising to Calvin Phillips. Sorry, I'm not giving you any minutes. Well, Pep looked at him and thought, well, he's not the player for me. So why did you buy him in the first place? Look, would you have Calvin Phillips at Tottenham? I probably would. But you can't keep. We can't keep asking for a quick fix, and there's going to be no quick fix either to our situation, which I think we're on the way to doing now anyway. I think we're on the right road now. We've just got to keep doing what we're doing. If you look at United, they're a long way from a quick fix. I think things are going to get far worse before it gets better at Old Trafford. And that is sad to see, because when Fergie was there, it was the team that they rarely lost at home, and they won so many trophies. Since he left, the whole thing's crumbled. I swear he's pulling his hair up when he goes to Old Trafford to see these players. Colin says, Big T, if the takeover doesn't happen, we are screwed. Without financial backing or investment, the Glazers cannot afford to run the club. So let me ask you this, Colin and Big T. Are United in so much of a problem that administration could be around the corner? Now, was it you, Colin, that told me it could be within 3 years? Let that sink in. Man United, the biggest club, one of the biggest clubs in English football, one of the biggest clubs in Europe, probably one of the biggest clubs in the world, brand-wise, within 3 years could be in administration. It is shocking. It really is. And the Big T says, yeah, grim times. We've got Matthew as well. He says, I love the old school Merseyside derby when we need that old Everton back. Yeah, we do. We've also got Luke Chapman, Northampton 3. Luke, you need to get in touch with Chris, because he's a Carlisle fan. So the pair of you apparently are playing each other the weekend. So, let me know your score prediction, Chris, and let me know yours, Leak. And then we've got Chris saying, there's no way we're getting Qatari takeover. So round in circles we go again. Yeah, I know. And it said that people forget that we won our 25th trophy in 93. So, yeah, the trophy joke on us doesn't make any sense. Even Chelsea have only 6 more than us. Look, I don't know where to go with this. I really don't. But look, I'm going to get on with the Man United stuff later about the build-up to them. But let's start with some Tottenham breaking news. Of course, Destiny, you doggy, has signed a new deal and will be valid until June 2029 with an option for a further season. Tottenham have confirmed. So I think, look, it's a great signing. I think it's great to get him tied down. He would have been really sought after, I think, after this season. But for me, Destiny's had a great season. He's had a great start to the season. Absolutely. And I said it yesterday. I think Tottenham have found their defense now, like we had under Trippier, Rose, Von Tongen and Toby. I think we do. We have our back four and Hugo as well in Vicario. I think the back five is what we've been under looking for a long time, and we finally got what we wanted. Ooh, now I'm just getting a more bit of breaking news. I'm just asking if I can use it. I don't want to get anybody into any trouble. Now, if this is true and if I can use it, what implications would this have on the Qatari bid? What would this implications have on the Manchester Tottenham takeover as well? Look, Spurs, look, few clubs are looking at Tottenham at the moment. So, this could have a domino effect on what happens at Tottenham, to be fair. But look, great signing for Destiny. Absolutely over the moon with that. If you are enjoying this, please hit the like button, subscription button as well. And also, please pick up your memberships, only $1.99 to $4.99. And also send in the super chat. I know it's difficult times. I know it's nearly Christmas, but it does help us keep doing what we are doing. Now, Alistair Gold claims that Ange Postecoglou is a huge admirer of Tottenham Hotspur defender Ben Davies. Now, that shocked me. But Ben Davies had a good game on Sunday. He really did. But he's got to now back that up with another good performance on Nottingham Forest. So he has to keep backing these up. Back up. That's his, Tottenham career. I mean, he's been quite heavily used from the first year, came in 2014-15, only 14 appearances, 5 a sub. Then at 17, 3 a sub. Then on 2015-16. And then from 2016-17, probably up to 2019-20, it was over 20 appearances. Then 18 in 19-20, and then from 2021, it's been 20, 29, 31. Already 10 appearances already this year, 4 of them as a substitute. So, look, for me, Ben Davies has to prove that he is worth the time. He is worth the effort. Look, he's better than Eric Dyer. He really is better than Eric Dyer. Let's see. Right. Well, the bit of breaking news I have gone, I'm going to actually bring it up for you. I'm going to do that and bring it up into a comment for you so you'll be able to see what I am seeing, guys. So this is now just off the hot press. This is breaking news. Sorry, Ben. I'll take that away. And the breaking news we have is Sir Jim Ratcliffe is set to announce his resignation from the Manchester United takeover process as early as this week, according to Qatari media. So, let me know, United fans, where's this going? I mean, this is shocking. This is just turned into a mess, complete and utter mess. And Big T and Colin, let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think. The breaking news is Sir Jim Ratcliffe is set to announce his resignation from the Manchester United takeover press as early as this week, according to Qatari media. Now, does this play in with the Qataris wanting to take over the club? Is this being snuck out by there? We have to see where this is going. But that is the breaking news at the moment, guys, and it is shocking. It really is shocking. Really is shocking at all. And of course, big old Ben Davies, he's made 289 appearances in the Premier League, scored 9 goals, 19 assists, 75 clean sheets, both for Swansea and Tottenham Hotspur. So, look, let me know in the comments, would you keep Ben Davies in the squad? Is he a squad-worthy player to be kept in? Look, I was on Dave's last night, and I said that Ben Davies is a bit like James Milner. And I sort of stand by that in a way, because if he's playing around good defenders, you will get a better Ben Davies. If he's playing around not very good players, you're going to get a not very good Ben Davies. But look, we have to wait and see where this goes. But look, Ange likes them. And if Ange likes them, Ange thinks he can get a tune out of them, then in Ange we trust. Now, this for me is massive this morning. We were talking about this, and it is stated that a referee was punched to the ground by club president after a fiery end to the match in the Turkish football top flight. Hamut Mele was knocked to the ground by Frank Kuse, who ran onto the pitch and officially clumped him one. He fell to the ground and then kicked him. Now, officially, he was kicked in the head a few times apparently, but not by the president of the club, who ironically won the Fair Play Award last season for being the best fair play team in the league, in the Turkish league, which is absolutely shocking. Look, this is a response by the FIFA president. He demands action after disgraceful scenes that saw Turkish referee punched by club president and kicked on the floor. As the president describes, the incident is totally unacceptable. This is his statement. He says this is absolutely no place for violence in football on or off the field. Events following the Turkish Super League match between MKE Akunakta and then Rizapur are totally unacceptable, have no place in our sports or society. Without match officials, there is no football. Referees, players, fans, and staff have to be safe and secure to enjoy the game. I call on the relevant authorities to ensure that this is strictly implemented and respected at all levels. Well, all Turkish football has now been suspended indefinitely after the president, Faruk Kurusha, punched the referee in the face after seeing Ankaranta concede a 97th minute equaliser to Razapur, both mid-table teams, by the way. Koko ran onto the pitch at full time, floored the referee Hela Omut Miller, and who was also attacked by fans before being helped to the dressing room with the help of the police. And then, of course, that is again his statement again. Turkish president recap is posted like sports means peace and brotherhood. Sports is incompatible with violence. We will never allow violence to take place in Turkish sports. Ankara are 11th in the standings on 18 points, 3 points places below Razampur on 22 points after 15 matches. So the Turkish league has now been, it's now, suspended indefinitely. Will that mean the whole season will be sort of, pushed back to next season? Who knows? But for me, that was shocking. I mean, I fear it's coming into our game. It will happen in the Premier League. I don't think in the Premier League, but in lower leagues, definitely. But that is shocking. The referees are there to referee a game, good, bad, or ugly. You do not attack a referee like that. You really don't. Let's go jump into the chat, see what people are saying. We've got Big T saying, I think administration is not too far away, and pains me to say it, but there's also an argument that it is needed. Do you know what? I'd love to know what Colin thinks as well. I sort of agree with you in a way, and I'll tell you why. I think you need a reset at United. I think you really do need a reset. Now, if this rumours are true that Jim Ratcliffe's going to resign from the Manchester United takeover, now it does come from Qatari media. Now, that could be just held with a pinch of salt. But we have to wait and see if that does come to fruition. But I think a reset is needed somewhere along the lines. Now, it will be shockwaves around Europe, around the world, if Man United announce we're gone into administration. And what would that say to the Matt Busbys that managed your club, to the Sir Alex Fergusons, who was behind the Glazers taking over the club, by the way, as well. And where does that leave Man United as a club? Have you lost faith in your club, Big T? I'd love to know your views on it. Have you lost faith in your football club? Have you lost the passion you had for your football club? And it's shocking. It's shocking. United are going into the abyss by the looks of it. Matthew, we need a trophy this season, man. I think we're doing. I think we'll win the FA Cup. That the FA Cup's ours to lose this year. Luke Chapman is saying Carlisle United versus Northampton Town, Saturday, 16th of December, 2023, 3 o'clock kickup. We are doing Premier League Saturday, me and Philip this week, so we will keep a very close eye on that game, Luke and Chris. Big T says, strange it's coming from the Qatari media. Are we trying to make the Glazers reconsider the Qatari offer? Is Jim not getting something he wants and wants to appear like he will pull out? I think it's, do you know what? I think it's a lot of brinkmanship, that I'm going to do this if I don't get my way. I'm going to report this if I don't get my way. I think it needs everyone to get into a room together and just sort it all out. If the Glazers want, I think the Glazers are playing Jim Ratcliffe off the Qataris, if I can be bluntly honest with you. That's how I feel it's playing out. They're trying to get more out of Jim Ratcliffe, or we don't want to give you 25%, we'll give you 15% of the club. When Jim Ratcliffe said, no, I want 25%, well, you're only getting 15. And then the Qataris saying, well, if you give us an extra $1 billion, we'll sell you the club. I think they're trying to get as much as they can, money-wise, out of United, which way they go. And it's the fans that hurt at the end of the day, not the players, because the players are well paid, not the manager, because he's well paid. It's the fans at the end of the day that are going to be hurting, that are going to be suffering, that are going to be angry, this is our club, this is our livelihood. This is we go here day in, day out, see-ins, day in, day out, week in, week out, home and away, to get away from work, to get away from life's issues, just for an hour and a half every other week or every week, just to enjoy myself. And you go there for enjoyment. Football's supposed to be an enjoyment sport. You're supposed to get enjoyment out of watching your team. And yeah, especially at Tottenham, we've had some low times. But we're enjoying it again. And I feel United are in a mess. They really are in a mess. I don't know how you're going to get out of it. I don't know what you will do. I think the only way you do get out of it is a full takeover by the Qataris, lock, stock, and barrel. I think it's the only way it's the only option you've got now. If you don't take it, then you're at the point of going into administration. That brings points deductions as well. And you also got the rot that's set in with the players and the managers, that it keeps spreading. And it spreads through the club, and it breaks the foundations that Man United were built on. It's like Tottenham. I mean, we nearly went bankrupt in the late 80s, early 90s. And as I said, not a lot of younger fans can remember that, or even they've probably seen their dads tell them, or their uncles or whoever tell them. But to live through that, it's not a nice thing. And I can understand how Everton fans feel. That's why me and Philip sort of empathize with Everton, because we understand what it's like. But yeah, let me know, Big T. I mean, what do you think needs to happen at United now? Do you need to lose tonight to bring it to a head? Is that the thing? Does tonight's result bring something to a head? If you go out of Europe and they go out of the Champions League and the Europa League and just go out of Europe completely, does that bring it to its head with Liverpool on Sunday? Do you sack Ten Hag? Do you reset again? What do you do? Because at the moment, anything that you're going to do is not going to work. It's not going to work because you've got the same players on that pitch, going week in, week out, not performing for you. They put performance in against Chelsea, but they won't put a performance in you against Bournemouth. And I think we went through that under Conte, especially under Mourinho as well, and under Nuno, where we would turn up for the big games, but for the lesser games, we wouldn't turn up. And I think United are going through that phase again. But let me know what you want. People seem to forget us fans are the clubs. It's not like the Glazers or Enoch or Daniel Levy or the Liverpool owners or the Man City owners or the Newcastle owners. Us fans are the football club. We're the ones that keep the game going. If we didn't turn up, the place will still play because of all the football money, because of all the money that's coming from the TV deals and that. So they may lose money on gate receipts and what people buy at the stadiums, but they make it up with TV money because the demand from there for football is so great. But they seem to forget that football clubs were built on fans. They were built on the working class people. United were formed by railway people working on the railway lines in Manchester. Tottenham were formed by 4 young lads, cricketers, under a lamppost not far from White Hart Lane is. You have Liverpool sprung from Everton. You've got Man City as well. Manchester, the big industrial capital of England around that time. The North, Newcastle, you look at Newcastle, Newcastle's built within a town. That is the fans are the club. Newcastle and the fans are as one. Tottenham's built within Tottenham. And Liverpool, you look at Liverpool, Everton, Liverpool's divided between red or blue. And you look at it all around, and people seem to forget that we are the football clubs. We keep football going. And if we weren't there to do that, football would not exist. And that is for sure. It would not exist in the guise that it is now. You can have all the football money, TV money you want, right? You can have all the big £1 billion you want from big TV companies. But if that went away tomorrow, you could guarantee it, the people that are still there, have been there from day one, is the fans. And clubs will have to go back to doing what they did in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, relying on the gate receipts, relying on the merchandise they can sell, relying on other bits and pieces to make the club work. Football clubs take us fans for granted. Well, there'll be another set of fans if they don't buy a season ticket. Another fan will buy it. And I wish these clubs wouldn't take us for granted, because we do care about our football clubs. They're like a second family to a lot of fans. They're like a second family to a lot of fans. And I think clubs do. I think Man United especially take for granted their fans. And I know Tottenham do as well. And I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. We've got Paul Jones. Big up, Paul. He says Man United will not be in a mess because the Qataris will buy them, and they will be a bigger threat to the Premier League, and that will put Spurs down another place. Unfortunately, look, I don't think this Qatari thing is all what it seems, to be fair. I don't think the Glazers. I think the Glazers will want more money out of the Qataris, personally. I think they want to sell the club for as much as they can get out of it. And the Qataris are saying, look, that's our bid. If you won't go over that, we're not buying you. I also think they're trying to screw Sir Jim Ratcliffe as well, in a way that they're going to want to give him less of a percentage of the club to restructure that deal. I mean, this deal should have been announced weeks ago. Why hasn't it? It's been going on for the last year. I mean, it's shocking. I understand what you're getting, Paul. I do get what you're saying. But will the Qataris, will they pay over the odds for Man United? No, I don't think they will. Will they start looking around and probably Tottenham as one of their option clubs? Probably. Because if you look at Tottenham and you look at Man United, our infrastructure is better. We've got a far better stadium. We've got a far better money-making utilities at Tottenham. We can reuse the stadium for concerts, for boxing, we can use it for NFL. And I think that's where we might become a bit more attractive than other clubs. Big T says, I want whatever is going to happen now. Tired of waiting and guessing. If losing tonight and against Liverpool puts the pressure and speed things up, so it be it. Yeah, I agree with you. I think tonight and Sunday is going to be absolutely crucial in your season and what happens to you in your season. You cannot keep going on, especially with this news breaking today with Sir Jim Ratcliffe looking to resign, apparently. I mean, that will put the club further into a mess, further into a circus. And then you're going to get the Glazer out fans, which they're going to come out more in force. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a massive protest tonight. So, something's going to break. Something's got to give at Old Trafford, at Manchester United. Something's got to break. If it means the Glazers saying, sod it, here, the Qataris, you can have it. Or they say, right, we're sticking to our guns. We want what we want. If you can't match it, we're not going to sell. And Jim Ratcliffe, you take what you're given. and then, right, we'll run the club into the ground. The club's nearly run into the ground anyway. For what I'm hearing of Colum and Big T, and that Old Trafford's falling around their ears. And it's sad to see. It really is sad to see. And he says there is a future where both Manchester clubs are battling out in the low league. Yeah, we've got the Man City thing as well, 115 charges. Where will that go? Where will that leave both clubs? And could we see the day that they're both battling each other in the championship? Who knows? Who knows? Football's a funny old game. Well, let's get on with United tonight. Of course, they are in a do-or-die Champions League fight tonight. Now, Man United have played 48 seasons in Europe completely. Most appearances, of course, it's Ryan Giggs, 157. The top goal scorer in Europe is Wayne Rooney in 1939. The first entry into the European Cup, of course, was 1956-57. And the last entry, of course, was this season, 23-24. They have won the Champions League and they won the European Cup once and the Champions League twice. So tonight's a massive game. Now, they've played Bayern Munich 12 times. They've only won 2 out of that 12. And one of them, of course, was the 1999 Champions League final. They've drawn 5, they've lost 5. They've scored 16, conceded 20. So they're a -4 goal difference rate. They've only got a 16.67 win percentage rate against Bayern Munich in Champions League football, which is shocking in the whole of Europe, basically. Come to Champions League / European Cup, they've played nearly 298 times. This will be 299 tonight. 161 wins, 70 draws, 67 defeats, 554, goal force, 298 goals against. So basically, they've played 298 games and they've conceded 298 goals. Says it already. But they do have a plus goal difference of 247 and a 54.03 win percentage rate. So really, the European record is actually pretty good. In what could be the final set of group matches in UEFA Champions League ever ahead of the introduction of the new format next season, Manchester United must face a must-win Group A tie at home to Bayern Munich. To finish second to get through in the last 16, Man United need to beat Bayern and hope Copenhagen and Galatasaray draw when they meet in Denmark. Speaking ahead of the crucial Old Trafford encounter, Erik ten Hag put the teams in consistent form this season down to injuries and in defence. Last year we had a regular team with not so many changes, especially in the back line. Ten Hag told the Man United's official website. We had a long time with regular formation that helps you. Then you get the routines in, so we have to wait for that. But until that moment, we have to deal with it, as every team has to deal with it. It's not only us. But I am not sure when we get back to a regular base, then we will play better. You have a better opportunity to win games and a better opportunity of a chance that you are consistent. If United defeat Bayern, there is a winner in Denmark. They will finish third and drop down to the Europa League. The last time you did that, you won the Europa League. But a draw at Old Trafford will not be enough to finish third as Ten Hag's side lose the tiebreaker against both Copenhagen and Galatasaray. 8 o'clock kickoff tonight for that. Now, this is the group. Bayern, of course, 13 points have already qualified. Copenhagen, 5. Galatasaray, 5. Manchester United, 4. Goal difference could come into tonight. Both teams are -2. Copenhagen on -1. So it's a tight group, guys. It really is. Got Scott McTominay says the squad's firmly behind Ten Hag, and then there's harmony in dressing room. Unlike under previous managers, we had many amazing players. Right now, we are at a stage where we have big characters in dressing room. The midfielder said it's not just a case like with some of the other managers where it has been a little bit toxic at times. The boys are firmly behind the manager. We've got an amazing coaching staff. Just want to do well for the football club. It's as simple as that. Well, I've heard a few United fans complaining to that. Now, what are the 5 things now? Look, one of them, of course, is serious lack of prize money. The Champions League brings extra riches for clubs that do well. Last season, Man City took over 80 million euro, including prize money, and shared the broadcast in the revenue. The trophy this year, the champions will receive over 85 million. Now, for United, the worst case scenario is that they lose to Bayern and finish bottom of the group with only 1 win and 1 draw to their name, leaving them out of Europe altogether. They would take home 15.64 million for taking part in the group stage, plus 2.8 million bonus for beating Copenhagen, thanks to Onana's last-minute penalty save, and 930,000 euro for a draw against Galatasaray. That means 19.37 million in total, a drop more than 65 million on what their noisy neighbours could yet earn from the tournament. There you go. Money lost, of course, money lost at gates with transfer window coming up. Of course, it is with the capacity of 74,000. It's estimated Man United will make almost 5 million a match. So you lose. Look, you would look at that way as well, that they're losing money in gate receipts, Thursday night football, if they scramble to third place, given that United are bottom of the group, could to get into the Europa League. The Europa League still carries a prestige with 8.6 million up for grabs for the winners. United have enjoyed winning it before, and of course, but it would be better off out of it altogether and able to focus on the Premier League and the FA Cup, a trophy won in 2024. A place in next year's Champions League would do more for the Ratcliffe regime and United's reputation than a few games in the Europa League. Well, we know now that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, apparently to Qatari media reports, is about to resign from the transfer for loss of reputation, prestige, yeah, of course, reputation, of course, and also impact on the UEFA Confect. Now, this is the major thing, which could actually impact Tottenham, actually. United's lack of success impacts the UEFA Cup, which helps determine seedings and how much a club is paid when they're playing the Champions League. That means that the reduced comfort could see United have a far tougher group draw in the future, even if they qualify again for the Champions League. It would hurt them anyway. That Man City currently top of the rankings with 139,000 points. United are hanging on to their 10th place. They just sit 9th, 92,000 points below Leipzig identically. An early exit, this, however, could see other teams overtake them despite having trophy 3 times. So United could be in the doldrums everywhere. Last time they played, of course, major twice, but this was one of them. 26th of May 1999, the night United won their first Champions League because Sheridan Massowska scored in injury time after Bayern Munich took the leads at the Coupe now. Look, let me know, guys, what you think. Look, a lot of news today. A lot of stuff to get through. A lot of stuff to chew over. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. I'd be interested to know what Big T and Colin think about all of this and United and the Champions League and where it's all gone wrong for you. Where do you? I'd love to know. The question I've asked you guys is, where can you pinpoint the downfall of United? I mean, look, we at Tottenham have got nothing to crow about. We've made cock-ups along the way too. With the likes of Daniel Levy picking managers that he's picked, but we've finally got it right under Ange. So I'm quite optimistic about our future, but guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Really do. Listen, thank you all for watching. I am back tonight at 7:30 with the Champions League watch along. Manchester United against Bayern Munich. Of course, can Harry Kane get one over Ten Hag and dump them out of Europe? Column's going to the game tonight, so big up Column. Safe journey there, man. Let me know what you think. And also, whatever you do, please hit the like button, hit the subscription button as well. Please head over to THFC F1 Till We Die over there. There is a pre-record me and Chris did this morning with thoughts of the 2023 season, about the head of the 2024 season, the new regs for 2026 as well. So please get over there and give that a like. Please hit the subscription button in there as well. If you all just hit the subscription button, we'll be up. That channel would be up. Would be up as well as this channel. So look, hit the subscription button. We're on the march to 2K. Whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm back tonight at 7:30. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange, we trust.